Hi there, Chris here, another quick tip for you all. In this video, we're going to take a look at painting hybrid flesh for Genestealer cults and giving the flesh colors a kind of a purplish hue as is typical of Genestealer hybrids. And so you can see here we have one of our little metamorphs ready to go. He's already been base coated with Kislev Flesh, and we're going to come in with some Kislev Flesh and Xeris Purple. We are going to two-brush blend the colors on the head. Now this is one way of doing it. This is kind of a fun, easy way of getting this transition to occur on the head. And I kind of like the idea of the purple remaining up near the top of the head and becoming more flesh-like near the bottom. And I mean, if you can imagine, like, the coloring on the whole body is kind of like purple through his spine area, and then he's turning to flesh color like along his belly kind of thing. If you can see the whole guy kind of thing. But anyway. Simply, we just take a little bit of our Xeris Purple, lay it onto the center of the head, and then while that is still wet, we take another brush and come in with the Kislev Flesh and begin to blend on either side of the face coming down. It's easy to work on one side of the face and then the other kind of thing. If you're fast, you can get to both sides really quickly, but you most likely will just get to one side if you're going to do it right. And of course, you can come in a few times. One danger is if you don't get it quite right, you can obscure details because you can end up laying a little too much paint in there. So you got to try and get it at least in the one shot in there. And so again, it's not like it's the end of the world if you don't, but you do have to be a little bit mindful of that. Once we're happy with that color blend, we're going to come in with some Druchii Violet. And this is going to be a shade wash. We're going to apply this fairly gingerly across the entirety of the head. We just wanted to tint some of the flesh tones, deepen up some of the purple on top of the head, as well as get into some of the recesses inside the face. Next is Kislev Flesh. This is applied to our palette, thinned out with a little bit of medium just to help with flow. And basically we are going to do an edge little highlight along his little ear hole, along the bottom back of the head, upper lip, chin, bottom lip, jawline, cheekbone, and eyebrow. Now, as you can see here, we simply lay this initial color down onto the head. And again, as I mentioned before, we want more of the flesh color to be at the bottom portion of the face. So more of the jaw is more flesh-like, and more of the face more flesh-like, and we want more of that purple to remain up in here, the uppermost portion of the head. And so we'll be getting to that very shortly here. Next, we're going to take some Pallid Wyches flesh. And we're going to, again, highlight some of the really key points here, just really on the outermost cheekbone, upper brow, bottom of the jaw, little ear marking, and maybe the bottom lip as well. Again, some of it feels kind of stark at first, and so again, if you kind of feel like it's just a little too much, you can always come back in with some Kislev Flesh, thin it way down, and use it like a glaze and just tint that value down just a little bit, which is exactly what I'll do shortly here. Because I felt the highlights were just a little too stark in the face, a little too bright, in contrast with the purple sitting right next to it. Next is Genestealer Purple. And this is just for the little crest on the forehead. As you can see there, just a quick little highlight there just to kind of bring those into attention as we just bring some of those highlights out. And then next we are going to come in with some Nuin Oil. And this is going to be for the mouth and eye sockets. As you can see here, we're simply just going to take a little bit of that, get the teeth, and then get a little bit into the eye sockets. Just pretty straightforward. Allow that to dry. And then once we're happy with that, we can come in with some white scar. And then just very carefully pick out the teeth. And also just a little white dot in the eye. I find it looks a little bit more sinister with just the tiniest of little white dots in the eyeball. I don't know why. It just looks really, really, really sinister with just that little spot highlight in there. And of course the white teeth. I don't know if the Genestealer hybrid would have nice white teeth, but maybe they got good dentists. And as you can see here, we've got just the tiniest of little dots going into the eyeball. And again, it's just a tiny little spot. And again, so you can see here, once he's all said and done, he looks all nice and scary. And as I mentioned before, I took a little bit more of the Kislev Flesh, thinned it way down like a glaze, and introduced more of it along the side, along the jawline. You can see along the back side of the head, in the round kind of bulbous part of his head. Just brought more color in there, just glazed it upwards just a bit more. Again, just to get a bit more transition going on in that area. But that's it. That's one way of doing a Genestealer Hybrid's head. We've got even more painting tutorials in the Silver MiniWarGaming Vault. You can watch another one today about how I show an alternate way of doing Genestealer hybrid heads. Just click on the link in the video description below and watch it right now. If you don't have MiniWarGaming Vault membership, you can click on the link and sign up for a free 7-day trial. And make sure you get the Silver membership so you get access to all the painting tutorials and you get instant access to over 1,000 painting tutorials already in the vault. And so thank you for watching.